resource person, Dr. Sister Prisca, belongs to the Congregation of Jesus from Patna province. She has 14 years of teaching experience in schools and college in Allahabad, Kanpur, Lucknow, and in Patna. She has counseling experience for 16 years, province leaders for 9 years in Patna. She was in general leadership in Rome for 11 years and now back in province. Has conducted many seminars and workshops. She has a master's degree in psychology from the University of Allahabad. She has done 3 years of advanced diploma in psychodynamic counseling from Rehampton Institute of Higher Education, London, and doctorate in counseling. Her theme of PhD thesis was Effect of Personality and Social Support on Burnout among Helping Professionals. She taught counseling skills for 5 years in Christian Counseling Center, Vellore for 5 years. In her role as part of the leadership team in Rome, she has traveled wide and has organizational experience in interculture settings. And now she is helping out in formation. Thank you, Sister Prisca, for accepting the invitation for today's session. Without taking much time, let me now joyfully hand over to Sister Prisca to continue and inspire us in this session. Sister Prisca, over to you.
Sister Prisca, do you want me to share the slides?
I'll just, we are having trouble here, but now we managed to get it, so we are sharing, okay? Okay,
Yes.
student. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, sister.
Good evening, sister.
Good evening, sister.
Good evening, sister.
Good evening.
Can you see our screen, please?
Yes, sister. Screen is clear. Yes, we can.
We are having endless trouble with this internet. It is down all over in Patna, so I am a little nervous about the whole thing. Anyway, we will begin. Oh, good evening and welcome to all of you. I have chosen this song, Do You Remember the Call, as an introduction to our session today. I have chosen this because our call is to commit to the service of humanity, because we believe that we are called to glorify God, and the glory of God is presently alive. As human beings, we are interconnected to God, to all human beings, and the whole universe. So while we listen to this song, let's become more and more aware of the God who has called us and who is the author of all creation.
Do you remember the call? When did you hear of day. Can you remember the vision, the dream, and the courage to love for life? Listen, remember, catch glimpses of summer and of blossom gentleness, radiant with light, and you were dancing, full and given to life in the name of love. Do you remember the call? And you letting go, golden to grace, trusting the journey and all it would be, born of love and fidelity. Listen, remember, catch glimpses of autumn, of all that surrendered in wisdom and hope, for it is given for the yet to become in the name of love. Do you remember the call? Sung in the silent depths of you. Know that its power is deep in your heart, as a fire, a song, a dream. Listen, remember, catch glimpses of winter, touch new life in hiding, and set it ablaze, and let it grow into fullness of life in the name of
So, welcome, dear friends, to this session today. You've already heard chapter 1 of Laudato Si. Today, I will be dealing with chapter 2, the gospel of creation. Now, before I begin this, I like to thank all of you who are here and also the organizers for providing this opportunity to share some reflections based on the second chapter, Gospel of Creation. So first we look at the structure of this chapter. So this chapter has sections, and each section has a theme and a focus. So this chapter begins with paragraph number 62 of the book, which is just an introduction to the coming themes. So we have paragraph 63 and 64, which has got a section entitled The Light Offered by Faith. So the focus here is to show that our religious convictions provide a motivation, a why to the care that we take for nature and for the vulnerable. And section 2 has the theme, the wisdom of the biblical accounts. We know the biblical story of creation. We have reflected on these often. So the biblical stories teach that human beings are created in God's image, and all of us human beings have a responsibility to care for the earth. So this is dealt with in paragraphs 65 to 71. Then we have section 3. The title is The Mystery of the Universe, and the focus is that the world, the created universe, is a gift from the Father's love, not a product of chaos or chance, but a gift freely given to us by our Father. Section 4 is also giving us the message that each creature has for us. So nature is like a book in which God speaks to us and grants us a glimpse of his infinite beauty. We know that we receive messages from different sources. You who are very familiar with the life of St. Ignatius, for example, we know that God was hiding behind the pages of a book, and that God spoke to him from these pages, and that is how he was transformed. The same way, each creature has a message for us, and that helps us to unfold our purpose in life. Then we have section 5 entitled A Universal Communion. So we are joined in a universal family with all creation. This is so much reflective of St. Francis's thoughts, his prayers. He calls the sun brother sun, sister moon, even sister death. So the reality of the universe is that we are all interlinked, we are all family, we are siblings. The plants and the animals and all of us belong to this one Father. So the paragraphs 89 to 92 deal with this universal communion. Then we have section 6, where we are told what is the destination of the resources, the goods. So the common destination of goods, the natural resources we are given as gift, must be shared fairly. The rich and the poor have equal dignity. And so 93 to 95 paragraphs deal with this. Then we have the last section, 7, the gaze of Jesus. This is for us a call to enter into the mystical dimension. Like Jesus lived in full harmony with creation, inviting us to see the world with wonder and awe and great surprise, we are also called on to this contemplation of the cosmos, of the creation. And we know that many mystics and poets have been in full communion with this creation. Some of you might remember the poem by Elizabeth Barrett Brown. The earth is crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only he, let's say she, who sees takes off her shoes. The rest sit around and pluck blackberries. So the invitation to us is to enter into this communion, to enter into this communion by looking at creation as Jesus looked at it. So on the whole, chapter 2 provides a theological and biblical foundation for our environmental stewardship. Pope Francis argues that faith offers a unique and powerful motivation for taking care of nature and the most vulnerable. So this is all based on principles which are that each person who is created is worthwhile, each person is unique, each person has gifts and potentials to develop, and each person is a steward of the planet's resources. We are not owners, we are only stewards. We don't possess anything, we are only given to keep, to till, to protect, to preserve, and to let it grow. Each person is a catalyst or agent of personal and social change. Each person is a partner in the cosmic divine process of peace, justice, and transformation. So then we deal with the next, the light offered by faith. So paragraph 62 to 64 brings us to this idea of science and religion having to dialogue. Because there are times when people think and feel that science is against religion or religion is against science. But Pope Francis asserts that science and religion can enter into a fruitful dialogue. So the wisdom and the knowledge that we get from science can be coupled with the wisdom that we get from religion. So none is excluded in the effort to protect the planet. And therefore, we also know that for believers, not only Christians, any believers who have a sense of responsibility toward nature finds faith as an essential part of the why of their ecological efforts. So let's take this, our faith, as providing us with the real motivation for our efforts at preserving, keeping, and letting ecology flourish. Then we have the wisdom of the biblical accounts. So here the Pope explains that human life is based and grounded and rooted in three closely interlinked relationships: relationship with God, with our neighbor, and with the earth itself. So we are all interconnected. So we are told in Genesis, till the earth, keep it, and have dominion. Now, the idea of dominion is not to have a tyrannical type of rule over creatures, but we are called to cultivate, to nurture, to care, and to protect the garden of this world. So we are supposed to be caretakers, stewards, and lovers of this universe. The other theme is universal family. Because everything was created by the same Father, all beings are linked by unseen bonds and form a kind of universal family. We are all family, whether we are in India, in America, Africa, wherever we are all family. Then we have again paragraphs 76 to 83, which deals with the mystery of the universe. And Pope Francis clearly distinguishes nature from creation. He says nature is a system to be studied, whereas creation is a gift from the outstretched hands of our loving Father. And it has got its inherent value. Every creature, everything created has its own value and purpose, and no one is unnecessary or not needed. All of us are needed and necessary. All creation is needed and necessary. The entire material universe speaks of God's love and affection for us. Then the message that each creature gives us is valuable to us. So while we contemplate creation, it allows us to discover a teaching from God in everything. Every leaf, every tree, every mountain, every fire, every element in nature sends us a message from God. Each creature reflects something of God and has a message to convey. Let's stay with this thought. Yes, each creature reflects something of the great God and has a message to convey. Then we have the title Universal Communion in paragraphs 89 to 92. Here we know that everything is interconnected. Therefore, genuine care for our own lives and our relationship with nature is inseparable from our sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, and justice for others. Because we are all siblings, we are all belonging to the same Father. So there is this deep interconnectedness with nature, with cosmos, with all our brothers and sisters all over the world. And therefore, Pope Francis also criticizes any act of cruelty towards any creature, because that is contrary to human dignity and reflects a heart that has not truly accepted the gospel. So, if we have accepted the gospel, we will also be like the all merciful Father, the all loving Father, the person who wills the good of everybody. So, that's why we say he criticizes cruelty in any form. We also saw that the common destination of goods, meaning the resources, where the resources should go, that is being dealt with in paragraphs 93 to 95. And here, the earth is essentially a shared inheritance. It is the patrimony of all humanity. Although there is the right to private property, that is not absolute. It's always subordinate to the universal destination of goods. All are to have their basic rights to property, to healthy living, and yet we know we fall short of all this. So, although it is the shared inheritance and the patrimony of all humanity, often we do not reflect on, think, and act keeping this in mind. So, that's where we need to examine ourselves. And the last paragraphs from 96 to 100 ask us to look at the whole creation, at the whole cosmos with the eyes of Jesus. Jesus lived in full harmony with the environment, often using imagery from nature, lilies of the field, birds of the air, in his teachings. So every time he wanted to use a symbol, a picture, a parable, it was always related to the cosmos, created beings, creation, nature, and we are very familiar with this in many parts of the cosmos. Also, the cosmic Christ. In Christian view, the destiny of all creation is bound up with Christ, who is present from the beginning and will ultimately deliver all things to the Father. So Christ will be delivering the entire universe to the Father. And that is the destiny of creation, to be bound up with Christ, the transformed Jesus. So while reflecting on this chapter, I was very much moved by what I had read from Teilhard de Chardin, the great Jesuit geologist, scientist of yesteryears. And he says, if God created every molecule in the universe, then that included the coupled oxygen atoms that surrounded me. Not only in the room where I sat, but in every place I had ever been and every place I would ever go. And I would like you to really listen to this very carefully and take it to heart. And if every molecule of oxygen bears a trace of God, I thought, then I was being held embraced by an invisible force of love at all times. Let's take a little while. And if every molecule of oxygen bears a trace of God, I thought, then I was being held, embraced by an invisible force of love at all times. So every time we are breathing in the trace of God. At the heart of matter, he wrote, is the heart of God. All we have to do is let the very heart of the earth beat within us. All we have to do is let the very heart of the earth beat within us. So therefore he has also his hymn of the universe, the prayer, the universe. And he says in this prayer, glorious Lord Christ, the divine influence secretly diffused and active in the depths of matter and the dazzling center where all the innumerable fibers of the manifold meet, power as implacable as the world and as warm as life. You whose forehead is of snow, whose eyes are of fire, and whose feet are brighter than molten gold. You whose hands imprison the stars. You who are the first and the last, the living and the dead, and the risen again. You who gather into your exuberant unity every mode of existence. It is you to whom my being cries out with a desire as vast as the universe. In truth, you are my Lord and my God. So we are in this moment of surrender, where we are surrendering ourselves, like Thomas did in the Gospel, my Lord and my God. So we have our concluding hymn, where we are going to thank the Lord of creation with Laudato Si, O mi Signore.
Laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore. Yes, be praised in all your creatures, sun, our brother, moon, our sister, in the stars and in the breezes, air and fire and flowing water. Laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore. Thank you for the earth, our mother, she who feeds us and sustains us, for our fruits, our grass, our flowers, for the mountains and the oceans. Laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore. Praise for those who spread forgiveness, those who share your peace with others, bearing trials and sickness bravely, even sister death for them. Laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore, laudato si, oh mi Signore. Life is but a song of worship, and the reason for our singing is sì, oh mi Signore, Laudato sì, oh mi Signore, Laudato sì, oh mi Signore, Laudato sì, Laudato sì.
So, so this is a very short presentation, I know that, and it's deliberately done so that we have some time to share our reflections, our experiences, anything relevant to this chapter. So the floor is yours. You can.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sister Prisca.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, before that, we have heard a powerful reflection. The creation is a gift from God and is good. The earth belongs to God. Humans are stewards, not owners. The Bible teaches us to care for and protect nature. Human beings have dignity and responsibility towards creation. Everything in creation is interconnected. Sin has damaged the relationship between God, human, and nature. Environmental problems are linked to human selfishness and misuse. All creatures have value and reflect God's goodness. Jesus Christ teaches us love, care, and respect for all creation. Caring for the earth is a moral and spiritual duty for all of us. That what we have just now we have heard from our sister Prisca. So before at this point, I warmly invite everyone to share any positive suggestions, heartfelt reflections, or moments that touched you deeply. Your voices will enrich our journey together. So therefore, the floor is open for all.
Sister Prisca, I loved the way you linked spirituality so beautifully into this whole session, and more so that you brought in Thea Deshadain, someone who can easily be forgotten. So thank you so much. I enjoyed the session because it was so brief and yet so deep.
Thank you so much, Igora.
Hello, Sister Prisca.
Oh,
Hello,
Barbara.
Barbara.
Yes,
This is
Barbara. Yes.
See, it was easy for me because I was following this Laudato book.
Wow. Oh, good. Yes.
It was easy for me to follow. Thank you very much for the beautiful
Okay.
session, sister.
Okay. Okay, Barbara. Yeah, it would be nice to see some more faces. Show your videos and then speak.
Thank you, Sister Prisca, for this very informative session. It was very good.
Thank you, Sister Prisca. Session was very brief but very, very interesting. And mostly I like the part
of the molecule of oxygen that bears the traces of God in all of us. That was very beautiful, sister. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are breathing God all the time. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister Prisca, for your wonderful and beautiful presentation. I like the thought where God is everywhere, and wherever we go, we are breathing God. That is, we know it, but it is renewed. That spirit, I liked it very much, and it will help me for my day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene.
So, in one way, everywhere is chapel and church and mosque and temple. Every place is.
Yes. Oh, it's nice.
Sister Prisca, thank you so much. It was very concise and brief and very informative, very spiritual. So thank you so much.
Okay, Cecilia. Wow.
Good evening, sister. I'm Cecilia from Loreto Day School, Cialda.
Cecilia. Okay.
Cecilia from Loreto Day School, Cialda.
Yeah.
This session was really very interesting and very informative, and it has really made us aware of the nature and aware that God is all around us, and we are always breathing God. Wherever we go, whatever we do, everywhere there is God. That we have to realize. So even before committing a sin, we have to think about God, that God is there. So we have to think twice before taking a step and doing something wrong. It was really beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you, sister.
Very beautiful sharing. Yes. Also, Mary Ward said, you are holy gods. So whatever you are.
Yes. Yeah.
You are gods. Yes. Yes.
Creation.
Yes, Rashida.
There's somebody, Rishika, yes.
Yes, Rashida, yes.
Please unmute Rishita.
Good evening, sister. Sister, the session was very interactive and it was very helpful also. And it made all of us realize that it's not about it's about what we usually ignore. It's about the small actions we take and keeping God in our mind in everything we do. It's about not only taking the big action, it's about spreading awareness about saving the mind. It's not what we own, it's not what we inherited, it's something we are here to take care of. And this session has made us realize. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for the share. Nice, Rishika.
Yes. There is Gargi. Yes, Gargi. Go ahead.
Good evening, sisters. This session was brief and very concise. It really helped us learning how humanity and the environment can really go together. I love the part where the dialogue between science and religion can give us fruitful dialogue, and it was very helpful. Thank you, Sister Prisca.
Okay, thank you.
Anupa, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Prisca, thank you very much for such a enriching session. I'd just like to mention again, I think the Tilharda Shardeen and you bringing out that whole idea about, the most of the spirituality talks about getting rid of the matter, you get rid of matter to become more spiritual person. But here you gave us the invitation, you actually be the heart of the matter, feel the heart of the matter to be a spiritual person. And I'm so tempted to say this today because a lot of young students are present here. Matter, it's when it comes to care of the earth, or it's not only the plant, earth, river, or whatever, but also the gadgets we hold, the phones you are holding, or the earphone you're using, or which site you're going, what you're checking. That means respecting matter means whatever you have. I'm especially saying to these young, beautiful faces, matter, like care of the earth, does not mean only dogs, cats, wind, or whatever. Also, the material produced already, which is in the environment now. Okay, so To care also means that to carefully use everything, even the online world now. The online world is not exactly a matter, yet that is also is it's created by us through whatever. So the good use of that, good use of gadgets also is part of being caring of the earth. So that's what I wanted, because I was so tempted seeing these beautiful girls in front of my camera. So thank you, Prisca. Thank you very, very much for such an enriching session.
Oh, thanks, Prabina. It's a great
Thanks.
wisdom that you shared right now. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Thanks, Prisca. Yeah.
Many hands up.
Good evening, sister. I am Ranjana Sharma from Loreto Day School, Elliott Road. And thank you for sharing such beautiful thoughts with us. I like the idea of universal family, where you told us that because everything is created by the same Father, so all things are linked by unseen bonds. And we are all living with a kind of universal family. So, really, this is very, very beautiful. And in Hindu mythology, also, sister, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is the thought. So I found it very, very similar. The whole universe is like a family. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ranjana. Yes, great. Okay, now there is Ananya. Will you unmute and talk? Ananya Parmar.
Good
Okay.
evening, sister.
Good evening. Yes.
Sister, I am Ananya Parmar from St. Francis Convent Inter College, Jhansi.
Okay, good. Yes.
Sister, we are really grateful that we experienced such an interactive session. And sister, I really love the part that where you connected nature with Lord. Like it shows that Lord is everywhere around us, and we should respect Him everywhere.
Yes. We are held by him and we are enveloped by him. Great. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Mm.
Many students' hands are up. Please unmute and speak. Unmute
Good
and
evening,
share.
sister.
I'm waiting for them to unmute. Yes.
Good evening, sister.
Yes. Take your
Sister,
turn immediately. Yes.
sister, I'm Anjani from St. Francis Convent, Jhansi. And
Mm.
it is
Yes.
so beautiful to attend such sessions. And when we hear these words from you all and we get motivated to keep going, and this really increases us that the love for nature, we come close to God and we really feel it. And it is really beneficial for us, and the same values we are able to instill in our students. So it is because of you all sisters only that we are also nurturing and growing. Thank you so much, sister, for this session.
And your cooperation and we working together as a family. That makes the difference. Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, sister.
Yes.
Good evening, sister. I'm Shambhavi Purohit from St. Francis, Jhansi. And thank you so much, dear sisters and everyone present here, for the beautiful, ethereal, and poetic insights on the universal nature of creation. I'm truly touched on the way esteemed Sister Prisca filled such a small session with such philosophical and spiritual insights. And I was shocked and appreciative at the same time of the way you connected science with nature, creation, and God, and intermingled them into a word, a very beautiful word, which is called wisdom. And that is really impressive, and the thing which I think that would guide our generations to the future and to growth and nurturing our mental and spiritual health. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much. There are lots of good reflections in the chat box also, but since we are wanting to listen to everybody, we will. Yes, please go on the next one. The Brupa, Paul. Yes.
Good evening, sister.
Yes.
Sister, thank you so much for this spiritual session. I really loved a few lines I want to speak on. That Jesus lived in full harmony with creation, inviting us to see the world with wonder and awe. And sister, I really like these lines, and I have only one question to ask. That we are students, and how can the students practically live the message of the creation or the gospel of creation in our daily life?
Oh, great question.
Thank you,
The
sister.
the gospel means good news. The creation is good news for us. So every time we are respectfully treating creation, I think we are spreading the good news. No? You may have other thoughts also.
Yes, sister.
Okay. Yes. All right. Yeah.
Thank you, sister.
Okay.
Good evening, sister.
Yes. Arya.
I'm Arya Sharma from
Yes.
St. Francis, Jhansi. Sister, it is truly an honor and it was a privilege to hear your words of wisdom. And as the young generation, it really inspired me, and I really hope and I think it inspired every other student present in the meeting. And I especially really liked the part where you mentioned that the world is a family and we all are siblings. Because in today's world that's filled with conflicts and wars, I really hope that our generation, especially this young generation, we turn out to be a light of hope and a light of peace. And as well as I truly promise that, and I hope that we all turn out to be women like
Yes.
you all. And I truly see all the sisters as an inspiration.
Oh, I am so happy, Arya. I hope you are the future. So I suppose you will put into practice all that you're telling us now. Thank you so much. Yes. Amrita
Thank
or
you,
Amrita.
sister.
Yes.
Good evening, there is a shortage of time. Sorry, there is a shortage of time. So just maybe one or two can share.
Yes, that's
Yes,
true. We
go
are
ahead.
running out of time. That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes. So
So
one
just
or two.
yes, the
Yes.
last two hands are up, and with that we'll finish. Thank you, Amrita. Yes. Okay, that's Amita, Priya.
Yes, sister. Good evening, sister. I'm Amita Priyan Jha from St. Francis Convent Inter College, Jhansi. Sister, thank you so much for this enriching session. From what we have studied, I understood the question. It made me realize that everything, nature, people, and our actions, it is connected. So what we do affects others as well as our environment. Thank you so much, sister.
Great. And you also heard from Prabina, no? How we treat matter, whatever gadgets we are using, whatever we are making use of in creation, that it is all done in great reverence and love.
Yes, sister.
Okay. I think we could, Anupa, you told her.
Yes. Okay. So thank you everyone for your wonderful sharing, and I'm sure all of us we have heard and reflected, because when we hear all of your reflection is so deep, and it is all about because of Sister Prisca that she has given us in a beautiful way that she has put this session. So thank you everyone. And before that,